Welcome back to Session 5 of the JA Career Success Program. Today's activity, you will need the table tents, the personal priority cards, the priority triangle, quote stickers, and the toolbox envelope once again. Today's activity is all about priorities and the importance for students to know what their priorities are and what they really want to make sure that they have in order to be happy and successful and to feel fulfilled in a future career. So the talking points in the introduction really walk them through some of the ideas about what their generation is going through with their potential career outlook. And it also stresses the importance of not just the importance of the students knowing what their priorities are so that they're happy in a job, but employers really want employees to know their priorities as well so that they are happy in their job, so that there isn't job turnover. So once again, as always, make sure that you share some personal examples of priorities that you have and that you've looked for in careers, as well as allowing the students to share any that they might have in priorities, even at the high school level, of some of the things they have chosen to do at high school and why they've chosen those things. And usually it comes back to priorities. After the introduction, the first step of the activity is to give each student a personal priority card sheet and allow them to work individually or with a partner to read through these various situations and to choose which one they would rather. So would they rather work indoors or would they rather work outdoors? They can circle, star, underline, whatever they'd like to do to indicate which one they prefer, and they're going to just work through this sheet and go through all of the different situations listed. If they don't have a strong opinion one way or the other, they can just go ahead and circle both or leave it blank. And if it ends up in one of their top 10 priorities at the end, they can resolve it at that time. So the first step is just allow them to work together. They can individually make the decision, but sometimes it's nice to bounce off ideas and talk about the pros and cons with another person. So after they get that step completed, what you want to do is just talk about and highlight some of them. What I would encourage you to do is for you to circle your priorities and to think through this sheet and ask yourself how and what personal examples you have from your careers and jobs throughout the years that would give examples supporting one preference over the other. This way, what you can do is you can ask some of the students which ones were really easy to choose, which ones did you struggle more with. You can point out as you're talking some of the highlights that you would like to point out that best represent some of your experiences as well. I would not go through every single one of these, but I would pick and choose using your preferences as well as asking those two questions, which ones were easy and which ones were more difficult, to the students to gauge some discussion. The next thing you're going to do is ask the students to tear the cards apart. This shouldn't be very difficult, but it does take them a little bit longer than I would have originally anticipated. So what I would do is show them how to make the accordion and then go the opposite direction, and how easily it will then tear apart once you get those perforated seams. It goes so much easier. Once they have the cards torn apart and individually in hand, you will then give them a priority triangle. Please note that there are two sides to the triangle, so they're going to want to use the side one first. This is going to allow them to take this whole stack and break it down into what they feel is their high priorities and what is their low priorities. So you just want them to quickly look at each card and with their gut reaction, just say, is this a high priority for me or is this a low priority? Doesn't matter how many are on either side, they just need to get through their cards. So you're going to give them a few minutes to work individually to decide which side they want each card on. And then what you're going to have them do is you're going to have them put the low priority cards aside and to pick up in hand their high priority section. Then you're going to flip the triangle over and you're going to have the students then rank what they feel their top 10 priorities would be. So have them use this graphic organizer to organize their top 10. If they have more than 10 cards, they can just disregard what they feel is 11th, 12th, and 13th. And if they have less than 10 cards, have them prioritize however many they have in their hand. Then what you want them to do is you want to actually have them slide off the top 3 cards and write right on the triangle what those top 3 priorities were so that they have that as a reminder in their future. What I like to do is have the students go around and just list what is your top priority. So I had the students go and all share, and it was really interesting to see which ones were more common, which ones were unique, and kind of what their thinking was a little bit. And so that's a great way to kind of wrap up this part of the discussion and get the students to think about what is important for them. The last portion of this activity is to have the students look at the quote stickers and to have them consider which quote best reflects their priorities. What they can do is they can take the quote off and put it on the toolbox kit and under number 5. But what you might want to consider doing is cutting them apart, or encouraging the students to cut them apart or rip them apart if they want to take them with them. Some students might like to post them up in a locker or in their car visor. They might even want to post them on their mirror at their home to remind them of these great quotes and these great attributes that they have for their priorities. Enjoy session 5.